Texas Department of Family and Protective Services is now under new leadership. Jamie Masters was appointed to run the agency in December 2019, but last night, Governor Greg Abbott announced a shakeup effective immediately. Roxana Asgarian, law and courts reporter for the Texas Tribune, is joining us now. Roxana, thanks for taking some time to talk with us.
Thanks for having me.
Do we know why the governor is making the change?
Well, it has been a tumultuous few years for the agency. It seems like because the legislative session is about to start, that might have been the final straw. But there have been several scandals that have plagued the agency in the past couple of years, including increased numbers of children without permanent placements who have been made to stay in hotels or offices or other temporary shelters because there's no adequate places to put them long term.
Yeah, those numbers have increased pretty dramatically, right?
Yeah, it's getting a little bit better this year, but in 2021, it was a jump of from about 40 to about 400 of these kids without permanent places.
The new commissioner starts January 2nd. What can you tell us about her?
Yeah, so Stephanie Muth, she is a longtime Texas government bureaucrat. She spent 15 years in the Health and Human Services Commission, culminating in her time as the state's Medicaid director. So she has a lot of experience in the government. Jamie Masters came from Missouri and before that from the Kansas Child Welfare Agency. So she was from out of state. And so I think Abbott is returning to someone who knows the state of Texas inside and out.
Now, the governor is also calling on a former DFPS commissioner to also come in and help out. Tell us about her.
Yeah, Ann Helligenstein, she was a former DFPS commissioner, and now she works for KC Family Programs, which is a national child welfare nonprofit. Abbott called her in earlier this year, and then it was announced last month that she was out, and that seemed to be a decision coming from Commissioner Masters. So this is actually the second shakeup in a month.
Wow. And do we know any intel as to why that happened between the two of them, between Masters, and her?
Yeah, we don't know really what's going on. You can only read between the lines. Masters also let go her chief of staff at that time last month. And so it definitely seemed from the outside as if there were some issues. And this kind of only confirms that coming so shortly after that.
Yeah.